name is John Niedermeyer. I am the brewer and owner at Brewery Terrafirma. Brewery Terrafirma was actually a concept that started about 20 some years ago. Really trying to find a better way to brew beer commercially so that we would have the ability to actually reuse a lot of the materials that are generally thrown away or put down the drain and sent off to wastewater treatment plants. And so over the course of the last 20 some years, it's really been a lot of researching and education and really trying to show some people here locally that a facility like this that is so super hyper efficient, if you will, can function in this environment and function well, and also trying to convince people that in this area this should be something that we should really try to do, even though there's really no model for it. So it's difficult for some people to envision that. But it's been a long road, and now we're seeing a lot more farm breweries around the country, and fortunately, we're able to say that we were one of the early trailblazers in that in this kind of new venue of commercial brewing. We do a variety of things. One of the efficiencies that we do here is that we harvest all of the liquid waste that comes from the brewing process itself. So all of that liquid effluent that's a mixture of slurry, everything from pure water used for cooling and cleaning and rinsing to water that's holding spent hops and yeast and particulate matter from barley and stuff. Everything that hits the floor back in the brew house goes to an underground capture tank where we harvest it, analyze it, and then land apply it to our 10-acre farm here to grow hops that we'll use back in the beer, to grow pumpkins that we'll use back in the beer, to grow wildflowers and buckwheat for the bees, for the bee forage, to get honey to use back in the beer. And so instead of just putting it down the drain to the wastewater treatment plant, it's actually being used really old school, the way that breweries used to all operate. Breweries were all on farms. So it's just super efficient. On top of that, we also harvest all of the hot water that we use in our heat exchanger from our brewing process to preheat water for the following day's brew. And then we also harvest all of the excess BTUs from our fermenters, our conditioning tank, and our refrigeration system. So in most cases, almost all breweries will run glycol systems to keep the fermenters and the conditioning tanks cool. And then generally that heated liquid that just cooled those tanks goes out to a big exterior fan system that blows into a big radiator like you see in air conditioning units and stuff. Instead of doing that, we harvest those BTUs by installing a second heat exchanger system, and then we pump those BTUs through the floor in our facility here. We installed this place with in-floor heat in the whole building, so that in the winter months, instead of blowing all that heat outside, we capture it and dump it in the slab. So that in the winter months, our furnace system doesn't kick on at all unless the temperature gets below sustained temperatures of below 19 or so outside. So we save a substantial amount of energy and money by using some of this heat that's generated from our yeast, for instance. So that's a big step that I would say most breweries really don't go through, because there is a lot of added upfront cost. But we just try to use what we have.